Yo, story time. So I was going on G2A to get European Universalis, the only game where you can colonize and trade in slaves as the Pope, when I stumbled upon a deal. 78% off of a £4 game if I get 5 free games along with it. My monkey brain immediately ignored EU with my friend in favour for these free games and downloaded them all instantly. So I'm going to play and review them. Now, before you ask, it's an idea ripped straight from Giuseppe's channel, but hey, I'm a minor YouTube sensation, so I'm sure he won't mind. I tried to prioritise certain aspects of the game when choosing the ratings. For me, gameplay is the thing that keeps you playing. I can look at a big pretty vista for about 10 minutes and admire the beauty, but after that I'll forget and move on, and go back to converting England to Islam. Traffic racing is a game where you race in traffic. Upon opening the game, I realised that a lot of these games were created using Unity. It didn't fill my mind with ideas of a sprawling open world or a powerful story-driven game, but it cost like £4, so I didn't really have that expectation anyway. The title screen looked straight out of Roblox, and the next screen had me face to face with what I presume is a Honda Civic. The options for races are endless, with one-way and two-way. The premise of traffic racing is to travel distance while collecting coins and avoiding cars. I say travelling distance because, as far as I'm aware, it's endless. The environments are immaculate, with locales such as JPEG of desert with perfectly rounded cactus, and neighbourhood with no footpaths. There are power-ups in the game that allow you to go faster and magnetise coins to your car. I feel like there would be less shit if it wasn't for the fact that everything was so cheap in this game. I mean, the blue Honda Civic was only 8,500 bitcoins, and it was max speed, so after the first race I had the best vehicle. They're all just colour swapped Honda Civics with speed bars at the bottom. The second race I did two-way to try out the features and immediately got pummeled by oncoming traffic. Unlike the first mode, this was just stupid hard. Truly the Dark Souls of racing games. It seemed at times like it was impossible to avoid traffic at the max speed, since cars would block the right sides of the road and the opposite was just way too fast to react to. In the default car it was more manageable, but at this point I lost the will to live, and I head on the school coach and promptly uninstalled the game. Traffic racing gets 2 Honda Civics out of 10. Seeing the Unity logo again after traffic racing gave me a PTSD-like panic attack that the whole library of 3 keys was just going to be a bust, and I was going to have to make another unfinished Dark Souls series again. This game is very simple. You're a cube and you're trying to get past obstacles. No story, only puzzles. It starts simple but builds on the mechanics over time. You are left with a very challenging set of puzzles that you need to put some thought and reasoning into solving. The gameplay of Cybercube is much like Geometry Dash, but I'd say it comes into its own as the added mechanics really change the gameplay a lot. Something I noticed very quickly is that it loves to give you a lot of achievements just for everything, even dying. I went to go take a shit and when I got back I had an achievement for it. Much like Geometry Dash, the idea is that you move at a steady pace from one end to the other of the obstacle course. Unlike Geometry Dash, however, Cybercube plays on a 3D course. It plays around with this well as you get sent back the way and upside down with switch pads and arrows.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
Honestly, the camera change feels really jarring, like you're being yanked around, but once you get used to it, it's just a minor inconvenience. It allows you to switch layers. Sony would steal this 9 years earlier to develop Little Big Planet for the PSP. You can slow down and speed up to help you get back to where you were faster and to help you time jumps a bit better. The obstacles are very good for engaging your brain with the challenges. The floors that fall force you to go faster, which makes decision making swifter and harder. The floors that deconstruct require you to switch layers and are really good at challenging timings. The boxes are boxes, nothing special. But the placement can be off sometimes because you can't jump very easily as you land. I really like the puzzles that make you think quickly, such as the ones that have you jumping around different angles and obstacles near and far. I won't explain everything, but honestly, it's really good. I feel the challenge went from piss easy to oh my fucking god that's hard, which is exactly what I want from a puzzle game. The aesthetics, albeit simplistic, are great. It feels like we're playing in a Rainbow Six Siege player's gaming rig. It makes the puzzles the focal point of the game while also looking unique and interesting. There's 100 levels and the levels get quite long, so there's a lot of game to play. The slight issues with the camera may have caused a couple deaths here and there, but overall I really like the game. I like the style, I like the puzzles. There was a lot to like about it. 9 PSPs out of 10. Duke of Alpha Centauri, or Alpha Male for short, in simple terms, is horizontal space invaders. Well, that's not exactly true, but I'll say that anyway. Alpha Male is on a 2D plane and has ships that vary in strength and fire rate slowly head towards the left side of the screen from the right side of the screen, like Space Invaders, but horizontally. LOL. Where it differs is more in the weapons available. Other than the standard blaster, you get racist missiles that target aliens with racist intent, like a certain Twitch streamer I know.
You ain't funny!
The inspiration must have come from Windhelm in Skyrim. You get a laser that caresses the hull of the enemy for minimum damage, and you get drones that triple your fire rate. You also get a quick repair tool, but I genuinely forgot it existed, to be honest. I didn't feel much of a need to use much else but the rockets and drones, as they did good damage, while not being in the firing line. I spent more time spamming rockets from the safety of my ship's cockpit than I did moving around. The gameplay was a strange one for me because I couldn't tell if I was enjoying it or not. Most of the time it was dull and repetitive until, at level 10, a big ship flies in and the battle starts. Up to this point it never really felt like I had to move much. I'd either be sitting out of the firing line or sitting in a swarm of bullets with no need to dodge. However, this boss battle changed things up a lot. It forced me to dodge and weave, and it also forced me to prioritise where I would soak less damage, depending on what firing type it used and where. This was really smart gameplay, and it kept me engaged for the whole time that the boss battle was going on for. It's just a shame that it's not the core gameplay of the game, or I probably would have liked it a lot more. Upgrades are a nice addition, but again, I never felt the need to upgrade more than the rockets and the shields to a lesser degree. The differing backdrops of planets and solar systems makes it feel like you're looking at a battle in Stellaris in detail, like it's just been zoomed into the battle, and we're watching the ships fight. The models of the ships and the little details are done so well that it's hard not to like the game for it. The music too had some good ones lined up, but also had some non-copyright dubstep music. A bit strange since it didn't really fit very cleanly with some of the other tunes. Unfortunately for me, the interesting backdrops and ideas put forward aren't enough to drive me to play much more of the game. The gameplay just didn't have me hooked. But I feel like there's a lot to like about this game, which makes it unfortunate that I just wasn't hooked on it. 5 Sigma males out of 10 Alpha males. Do you have all your keys memorized off by heart? If no, then fuck you. This will make sense, I promise. At this point in time I realised that all of these games were made by the same developer or publisher, just 1337. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's worth pointing out. The premise of this game is to press the key that comes up on the screen. Easy, right? Wrong. Fuck you. You kinda just select which mode to play, and get thrown right in. It starts slowly with just numbers and it doesn't come up very fast, but not too long in I was left dumbfounded at how fucking fast it was. I mean, I tried to get it, but I just don't have the keys memorized. Sorry, what can I say? I'm a casual. The epilepsy fit background and the non-copyright music was distracting and really didn't help much with the faster pace than I could handle. You can try it if you're good at this shit, but I'm not. This experience was nearly as shit as the American Gangster meme. Nearly. I want that shit to die. 3 royalty-free dubstep remixes out of 10. Australia Simulator is a game where you can switch from British to Aussie Can. It's a platformer with simple mechanics. To traverse the levels, you must slip the gravity of your character upside down. The general theme of the game is very nature-based and cartoony. It would make for a good kids platformer, but it's not exactly very easy. It's not Slash It 2 hair molting from stress and eye strain challenging, but it's also not traffic racing brain-numbingly boring easy. It's just a little over halfway towards hard. The obstacles are either plants with spikes, or these malformed leaf toads. You can remove certain barriers by touching a plant that corresponds with the colour of the barrier. It's all very simple and doesn't take much thought. The difficulty comes more from the platform, where the jumps have very minuscule windows of opportunity. The timings and trial and error style is fun, and the main mechanic is unique, but other than that, there isn't really much to say about the gameplay. The game isn't very long, and a lot of the challenge comes from having to complete these tight jumps one after the other. I like the choice of a scarecrow because it represents how dead inside I was after Slash It 2. I played all 40 levels, and it was good. I found the fart fetish levels were my favourite, as the pressure of avoiding the anal gassing added some flavour to the game. The pressure situations made the game a lot more fun. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. It was good at using the mechanics, but unfortunately it lacked a lot of different mechanics to kind of spice up the gameplay. I think if it had a bit more variety in the game, I think I would have enjoyed it that bit more. But overall, I did still enjoy the game. 7 crows out of 10. Overall, my balls were busted. For good, and for bad. I really enjoyed a lot of these games, and I think overall, even the ones that I didn't enjoy so much, were worth playing. It was an interesting experience. This is my first review video, and maybe the only one I ever do. So, I hope that my awful critiques have at least shown one thing. I am truly a smooth brain. Anyway, piss off now, I'm done.